Hello, good evening, and welcome. Welcome, 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 welcome. Good evening and to welcome to the Modelwoman Masterclass. You are welcome. How are you doing? Everyone, those of you who are watching this and those of you watching the replay, you are welcome. Welcome. So today we're going to continue with part two of finishing strong. Part two of finishing strong. And I want to believe the last week was awesome and that we learned quite a lot from last week. So today we're going to continue. So it's a series that we're going to run up until the end of the month. Until we get into, we're just going to be running this series until we conclude the 2025, program. And I hope you are standing till the end of the day. So today I want to talk about overcoming, how do you overcome distractions and destiny fatigue? Because, when you're on a long haul, when you're doing something, you're on a long haul, there's every tendency to want to quit. It's just like in a race, marathon race that is a long haul. That's why you find out that, along the line, some people drop off. Their stamina, they can no longer continue. They do not have the energy to continue anymore. Some of them break down. Some of them have injuries and all of that. So distractions, could fatigue, could be anything. And that's how it is when you are building anything, the course of your life, the same energy with which you started, might not be the same energy with which you are ending. Some people started up with very vibrant, so positive, so I don't know how to say it, but so gingered up, like they have clarity. There's so much positivity, everywhere, and they're like, okay, we're going to do this. I'm ready for the year. For those of us who are Christians, prophetic word has gone forth in church, so you are excited, and that's fantastic. I mean, that's amazing, but you also have to know that it takes a lot of stamina, it takes spiritual stamina, it takes a lot of focus, it takes a lot of tenacity, it takes a lot of perseverance to get to the end. And that's how it is with our work with God. The Bible speaking say it is those that believe till the end that will get the reward. So most times the plan of the enemy, or due to distraction, he doesn't want us to finish to get to the end. And that's why most times you see people start things, they're not able to finish. Some people, it's not as if they planned not to finish, but life happens, things happen, and they're not able to finish. You understand? So today we want to look at how you can overcome those distractions, because I also do not want us to write off the remaining part of the year. When it gets to November, like especially since we're approaching the last week in November, a lot of people are like, oh, we're getting into Christmas, so the year is over. I cannot do anything. Not knowing that in one day, a lot can happen. In 2 days, a lot can happen. In 1 week, a lot can happen. In 24 hours, in 1 hour, a lot can actually happen. So I'm going to read a Bible verse, and that Bible verse will actually lay the foundation for our conversation today. And it's in Hebrews chapter 12 and verse 1. It said, let us lay aside every weight and run with endurance the race set before us. Let us lay aside every weight and run with endurance the race set before us. Now, in this Bible verse, I'm going to pick out two things that can actually cause someone to slow down. Now, if you have your notebook, please, once you join, let me know when you're joining. So if you have your notebook, I want you to take notes. There are two things I'm going to mention from this Bible verse that I just read. I'm going to read it again. Hebrews chapter 12 and verse 1. Let us lay aside every weight. So number one, weight is mentioned, and run with endurance the race set before us. Now, there are two, in this Bible, there are two major enemies of finishing strong. Number one is weight. Number two is weakness. Weight and weakness. Weight and weakness. Please, if you're here in this live stream, I want you to write it. Two enemies of finishing strong: weight, weakness. Weights, and weakness. Now, weight, you put in bracket, weight could be distraction. Anything that you're carrying that will not allow you. Weight can be distraction, and then weakness is fatigue. You understand? There's a difference between weights and weakness. You need to know that. Yes. Oh, welcome. You're welcome. Yes. So the thing I said, there are two major enemies. There are two major enemies of finishing strong. Number one is weight. The second one is weakness. And I picked this from the Bible verse, Hebrews chapter 12 verse 1, where the Bible says, let us lay aside every weight and run with endurance the race set between us. So if you notice, you see that someone is carrying a weight, someone is carrying a load, whatever it is that is distracting, it slows speed. So one of the things that distraction does is that distraction slows speed. It slows your speed. Just like somebody is actually driving, and the person is on a very high speed, and the person is driving, the person is looking. You find out that the person is distracted, and because the person is distracted, it's either the car, if it's the car, the person can have an accident, or the person will even slow down their pace. So distraction actually slows us down. Why? One of the things fatigue does, it actually destroys your strength. So tonight, tonight we're going to be looking at understanding distraction. Because listen, if you don't understand how distraction works, it can actually creep in subtly into our lives. Very, very important. So distraction will slow your speed, and fatigue will destroy your strength. And together, they actually make finishing very hard or even impossible. That's why there are lots of starters. If you go and do a research on people who start small businesses, you find out that they said in 3 years, over 90% of small businesses that started shut down. Do you know what that means? I think it's 97%. Do you know what that means? Only 3% survives. So it's not in starting, and the enemy does not want us to finish. You can start, but does not want you to finish. Don't you even know that that's how it's even with God? You see, with the work of God, He wants you to start becoming born again, but He doesn't want you to make heaven. So what is distraction? Distraction is actually anything that steals your focus. Anything that steals your focus from the assignment that God gave you. And there are biblical examples of distraction. I'm going to show you. There's a man, let's look at him, someone who was building, he has a project. I mean, the man was serving the king, and he just remembered that, oh, back home, I have a project to say, I have a project back home, and then I need to go build it. And I'm talking about Nehemiah. So look at Nehemiah as a contemporary man in today's society, in today's world, who had a project. Now, projects can be anything for you. For Jeremiah, was building the wall of Jerusalem. For you, it can be projects, it can be parenting projects, it can be your business, it can be what's your services that you render, it can be anything. Now, the Bible said Jeremiah was building, but people came to distract him. And in Jeremiah chapter 6 and verse 3, he said, I am doing a great work, I cannot come down. Now, these were people who physically beckoned on him and asked him that they wanted to go and have a meeting. If you read Jeremiah chapter 6, they wanted to go and have a meeting in the plain of Ono. And Jeremiah said, I am doing a great work, I cannot come down. So the thing is that distraction, and some distractions actually come in very beautiful packages. It's not every you know, this one is coming from an enemy. Some distraction can come from friends. Some distraction can come from things that tickle your fancy. I don't know whether you people are catching me. Some distraction can come from the things that you love. Some distraction can come from things that are trendy. Some distractions can come. What I'm actually saying, distraction doesn't really come from just enemies. It can come from friends. It can even come from family. It can come from anything. But just know that whatever takes your focus, the word there is focus, 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 focus. You know, focus means you have a single eye. Whatever takes your focus or steals your focus from whatever God has called you to do, that's a distraction. You understand? And so I've talked about it that most times, so understanding distraction doesn't just come from the enemy, from an enemy. Distraction can come from friends. Distraction can come from the things that you love, things that tickle your fancy. Distraction can come from your, it can even come from you, can even be the one distracting yourself. So very important. So that's the nature of this. Number two, the nature of distraction, that sometimes distraction can actually disguise as urgent, but not important. Yes. Some distraction can actually disguise. They can disguise as things that are urgent, but they're not important. So by the time you attend to that thing that is urgent, before you know, you've lost time. And sometimes not only have you lost time, you've actually lost focus. There are people who have actually they've gone to attend to things that were urgent, and before you know, they went off tangents. You understand? Mm-hmm. The next thing you need to understand about distraction is that distraction increases as you get to the finish line. Yes, because sometimes when you're doing one thing over and over again, sameness, you know, you're doing one thing over and over again, you're not careful, you will feel like you're wasting time. You feel like, let me try something new. Maybe let me just do something new. And so before you know, you abandon that one, you jump into something else, you understand. So it can be distracting. So distraction increases actually when you get close to the finish line. The next, again, I've said it, some calls, conversations, and relationships are actually designed to pull you down from your assignments. Do you understand? Now, there are different kinds of distraction. Today, we're focusing on distractions. We're focusing on distractions. Overcoming distraction and destiny factors. That's what we're looking at. And I'm still talking about distraction so that you can name them. Now, there are different types of distraction that affect us. Number one, emotional distraction. Oh, God. This one is very draining. You know, we're emotional beings. Very, very draining. The Bible speaking in Proverbs 4:23, it says, guard your heart with all diligence, for out of it are the issues of life. Listen, when you have offense, anger, heartbreak, pressure, discouragement, you have a lot of things that bother on your emotion, you're actually going to be drained and you will be distracted. It can be very distracting. Number one, emotional distractions. I hope you're taking. Number two, it can be social distraction. I mean, look at what is happening right now on social media. Have you noticed that every day there's one form of news, especially if you're a Nigerian, even those of you who are outside the country who are not in Nigeria, but somehow you know that the social media buzzes every day with different news. So some people can actually be jumping from one blog to another or just be reading up news. All of those things can actually be distracting. It can even affect your psyche, can even affect your mood. So social media, unnecessary. Social distraction, not only social media. Unnecessary peer pressure and noise. Necessary noise. That's number two. Then there's also relational distraction. This one is people talking you out of the purpose that God has. Wrong friendship, draining connections. When you just have some kind of negative people in your circle, people who are not hearing God. I keep saying it. Make sure you don't make friends with somebody who does not hear God. Okay. I'm going to say this again. Make sure you are not friends, that's people in your inner circle are not people. Let me say it. Don't have people who are deaf to the voice of God to be in your inner circle. It's very risky. Very, very risky to have people who don't hear God in your core, in your inner circle. It's a very dangerous place to be. So relational distraction can come from people who are speaking, who don't hear God, who are faithless, they don't have faith. They don't have faith. They don't have any atom of faith. The Bible speaking one of my favorite scripture of all times, Proverbs 13:20. I used to call it P1320. P1320. I mean, it said, he that walks with the wise shall be wise. Your relationship can go a long way to impact your journey in life. Have you noticed that even you also do it to people where you see somebody wants to quit, somebody wants to give up, somebody's so discouraged, and then you become that voice that tells them they can do it. Or maybe you are in a situation where you're so discouraged, you are tired. See, you're just trying to get by, and then there's this voice who just encourages you. That one is a relationship loss, but a relationship or relational distraction are those who don't hear God, those who don't know the voice of God, those who are always see. Some people are very critical, some people have very critical eyes, very critical eyes. They see evil, they see bad in everything. And so by the time they begin to speak those words to you, your faith begins to go down. Do you understand? And then there's another kind of distraction. This one is self-inflicted distraction, but it's self-inflicted distraction, but I'm going to name it mental distraction. This is where you all by yourself, you're overthinking, you have fear of the future, there's broken focus, you're just overthinking, you're imagining things that don't even exist. You're imagining things that don't even exist. And honestly, I've experienced this. Anytime I begin to walk in the flesh, like I'm thinking, I'm afraid, I'm fearful, I'm confused, is because my intimacy with the Holy Spirit, is not that very deep. And I can tell you, because if you're in tune with God's word consistently, of course, attacks your mental, your mind will be attacked. But if you're in tune with the Holy Spirit and in fellowship with the Holy Spirit, and you're constantly in a place where you're speaking the word, holding the word, I know challenges will come. You find out that this overthinking thing will not stay for so long. But there are people overthinking, fear of the future, confusion, broken focus, have even made them folded their hands. They're just saying, there's nothing I can do, just leave it. Let this year just come and go. Isaiah chapter 26 and verse 3 says, you will keep him in perfect peace, whose mind is stayed on you. I'm going to read it again. Please, I want you to read this Bible verse. It's so sweet. Oh, yes, Amika, you're welcome. Look at what it says. You will keep him in perfect peace, whose mind is stayed on you. There's something about our mind. The Bible is saying that you will keep him in perfect peace. What it means, he said, your mind is connected to your peace. Somebody help me write it. My mind is connected, is linked to my peace. My mind is linked to my peace. Can you all hear me? Please, I don't know whether my speaker, can you hear me? I don't know whether I'm loud enough, whether you can hear me. I don't know whether you can hear me. You can hear me, please help me write it in the comment section. Do you understand? So my mind is connected to my peace. So if I want my entire body, okay, yes, thank you. So if I want to walk in peace, I want to live in peace, my mind has to be stayed on him. Who is him? The word. My mind has to be stayed on him. Listen, our minds can drift. One of the most powerful organs in our body is our mind. You see, in the Bible, that's what the Bible talks about, casting down every imagination and every high thing that exalts itself against the knowledge of God, because that's the seed of battle. He said, casting down every high thing and every imagination. Because, listen, your mind will want to imagine things. Now, look at what is happening, and the devil is just so subtle. Look at what is happening in the environment with kidnappers. Do you know that with all of these things happening, your mind can begin to play tricks? Oh, you'll be kidnapped. Before you know it, you're fearful. Oh, if you go out now, you go out, you're coming in early. So your mind can even begin to play games. So you'll be afraid. Oh, we need to do this. This. You'll be panicking. But the Bible says you will keep him. God himself will keep us in perfect peace once our mind is stayed on him. Remember, we're talking about distraction, and I'm focusing on mental distraction. Now, this mental distraction is a kind of distraction. These are things that are happening internally in you. Nobody may even know, but these are things that you're dealing with. And those things happening within you in your body, I'm telling you, can even make you immobile. They can make you immobile. They can make you don't want to invest in your business. You don't want to invest even in Nigeria, because you will say, to what end? Distractions. Now, let's talk about fatigue. We're looking at two things that we need to take out of the way if we want to finish well. And talked about distraction. There are two things, distraction and fatigue. Yes. I called it weights and weakness. Weights and weakness. We read in Hebrews chapter 12, verse 1, where the Bible says, lay aside every weight and run with patience, the race set before you. So we're looking at weights, which are distractions. We're looking at weakness, which is fatigue. So I finished talking about distraction. Let's now go to fatigue. What is fatigue? Hey, Father Lord. Hey, fatigue means drainage. Can I use the word drainage? Fatigue means drainage, but fatigue is actually when your mind, your emotions, your spirit becomes tired from a journey. I'm going to say it again. Fatigue is when your mind, your emotions, or your spirit becomes tired from a journey. Exhaustion. 2 weeks ago, I was feeling so exhausted, and I started telling my husband I wanted to leave Port Harcourt. I just wanted to leave this environment. I want to just go somewhere else. I don't want to do anything. I don't want to think about church. I don't want anybody to call me. I felt that like it was heavy. And then he said maybe I should come and go to Lagos, maybe just go to one resort and go and stay. But I think I took up time. I just went in my room upstairs, on music, and I felt a lot more better. But I'm still going to take a trip. But you see, my mind was tired. My emotions were just out of place. When I teach, I use myself as an example. I was exhausted. I just didn't want anybody to bring any counseling church matter. I didn't want to hear anybody. I was just trying to look out for myself. So the thing is that fatigue is one of the reasons why exhaustion is one of the reasons why people can't finish. Because it's a long haul. 12 months is a long time. Galatians chapter 6 and verse 9 says, let us not grow weary in well-doing. Let us not grow. So the Bible knows that you can grow weary. In fact, even when you are doing good, you can be weary. You can grow weary while doing good. You can, please, somebody can call the inner circle people to come and listen. Have people noticed that it's also fatigue and distract? It's fatigue. People are exhausted. Please, this year should come ahead. That's why you see that people participating has reduced. People are exhausted. So people are just praying for this year to just come and go. But it's not about the year ending, and I'm going to make a statement now. Fatigue doesn't just mean you are weak. Are you ready to hear what I want to say? Let me tell you. Fatigue doesn't just mean you are weak. It means you need renewal. Fatigue doesn't just mean you're weak. It means you need renewal. That's the truth. That's why you see, when you feel exhausted, when you feel drained, and maybe because you've just been in routine, especially for those of us that are mothers, both biological mothers, spiritual mothers, you are just in one place. You find that when you take a break, maybe you take a retreat, or maybe you leave that environment, you change you break your routine, you do something. Find that. Especially when you travel, yes. Just go to a place. Have you noticed that maybe you've been in a particular place for a long time or something, and you now travel, and they just be for 2 days. You come back, you come in with so much burst of energy, which is why. Jesus, I don't know how to say this. Next year, 2026, one of the things I want to beg all of us is to incorporate vacations or retreats, renewal treats. Let me call it renewal treats for yourself. It doesn't have to be Dubai. I'm telling you, it doesn't have to be Dubai. It doesn't have to, you don't have to break the bank. It can be within Nigeria. You should take a break. Yes. Because if we just keep going, if you just keep going, you're going to burn out. And it's not because you're weak. It's because what you need is renewal. I hope, is this making sense? Now I'm going to give you some signs of destiny fatigue. Number one is when you've just lost passion for something that you once loved. The energy which you are pushing it is not there. Or a sign of fatigue. You need renewal. When you start avoiding responsibilities that you used to enjoy, yes, things that so much vigor, so much energy, you need renewal. All I am screaming tonight is renewal. In fact, when I understood this, I had to tell myself the truth. I said, see, Favor, it's not as if you're weak. I've dealt with distraction. We're talking about fatigue. I said, Favor, it's not as if you're angry. It's not as if depression wants to catch you, because it can lead to depression. It's just that you need renewal. You need to break your routine and get out of routine. Once you do that, when you come back, but for us, a lot of us that are women, we're thinking about children. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying you should abandon your children, but you know that you cannot even give your best self to your children and your family when you are like that. Imagine my children are not even around, and I was feeling like that. Imagine if those kids were around. Sorry, can I drink water? Do you get what I'm saying? So, you're overwhelmed with simple tasks. You feel spiritually dry and disconnected. Yes. And as somebody who is faith-based, a lot lot of the things we do are spiritual. They drain us. Virtue leaves us. Those of you, Oyeka, you that you counsel people, you're dealing with trauma. Virtue leaves you. Onye, you that you're talking to couples, talking to counseling, so that you're counseling people that have coconut head. Virtue leaves you. That thing is spiritual. And so, when we're in a place where we're constantly giving and giving, you don't know that they are sucking your virtue. And then we don't have times when we break. We don't have times when we break and just be in a place where there's so much spiritual atmosphere, and you feel, in fact, you feel the presence of God. Like you are there to receive. You are not the one giving now, because some of us are constantly giving. We're constantly giving. We're constantly calling you. You're solving problems. You're talking. You're counseling. We are reading. You're constantly giving. Is this making any sense? I'm going to keep saying this thing, renewal. Somebody write renewal in capital letter for me. What we need is renewal. It's renewal. It's actually renewal. It's renewal. My body needs it. And I'm sure your body needs it. Your body needs renewal. Do you know what it means for you to take out that break? Go to a place where they give you serious full body massage. You enter sauna like this. Full body, like the place you go to, you are not cooking. They serve you. You stay close to nature. That is why we need to make money to be able to have this kind of treatment. These are part of the things that make people look younger. That's why some of our mothers suffer so much. They age faster, especially women. Check it out. A lot of women age faster than men. It's because Jackie. And there are so many reasons why we experience destiny fatigue. Pouring out without being filled. I'd said it. We keep giving, we keep giving, we keep giving. Carrying burdens alone. We carry the burdens of the world. Emotional stress. Mentor. You are the mentor, but nobody's mentor. You can't talk to anybody because you are the one that everybody runs to. You're the one that everybody runs to for help. Because you're the one everybody runs to for help. Who do you run to? So you carry it alone. You carry it alone. Do you understand? And I'm going to wrap up with something. Please, I'd like you to ask me questions. I want to talk about renewal and rest, because that's one of the things I've been hammering. Mark 6:31, this was Jesus, say, come aside and rest a while. Even God in heaven rested after creation. You see, rest is actually spiritual. I believe that rest is spiritual. Some of us, even when we say we're resting, we're not resting because the environment where we are will not allow us rest. Inside your rest, you're still calculating. Inside your rest, you're still doing mental work. Inside your rest, you're still dragging. So your rest is distorted. But the renewal I'm talking about is a conscious investment that might cost you money. That's when you be like, let me use the word in quotes, you're like selfish. It's about you. It's about you mentally, emotionally, bodily. Number one, rest is spiritual. So rest will actually allow even the cells in our body to be renewed. Rest also resets the mind. You know that when you take those renewal treats, I call it renewal treats. When you take those renewal treats, you know one of the things it does, it actually boosts your creativity. It does boost your creativity. If not, you find out for some of us, if you have been in routine, keep doing this. I don't know if you have felt like that. I felt like that. You keep doing no new style. You just keep doing the same thing because you've not seen anything. You've rested. It's no renewal. So you're kind of recycling. So what you get into is recycling. Tell somebody rests resets the mind. Write it. Rest resets the mind. It does. That's why sometimes when you leave your environment, or maybe you watch something, maybe on your TV, maybe you watch something beautiful, you watch a movie or something, it's just something it does to your mind. I'm talking about renewal. Renewal is one of the reasons why people are not able to finish. You know, I said something that fatigue does not just mean that you are weak. It means you need renewal. Because the same you, when you are renewed, you burst forth with so much energy, just like you busted forth from the beginning of the year. Do you understand? Next thing, one of the things this renewal does, or rest does, is that it restores sensitivity to God. Because, my sisters, when you get to a point where you are fatigued, you are distracted, you're not going to hear God again. Because your flesh is very loud. Your whole body, your senses, your emotion is screaming. Some women, there's really nothing they can do about the situation. They can't get out. There's really nothing. So some people suppress it. Now, I know somebody may ask me a question. I can't travel. I can't do this. Even if you're not able to travel abroad, do abroad. You can decide to have like a getaway with few ladies. You can just decide to just, which is why everybody must have money. Which is why everybody must have money. This is why everybody must forge relationship. Even if this is a weekend thing, pack your children, pack them to somewhere trusted, which means you should have trusted relationship. Maybe your mother, maybe your sister, you know, maybe your spouse. You beg your spouse. This weekend, I ain't gonna stay here. You breathe. If you do not have such, if you do not have such connections, sisterhood, friends, that four friends, thank God for the rise of apartments. Four friends can decide to pay for an apartment. That's why you should have money. Pay for an apartment. Maybe people go see you, pay for an apartment, stay there for 2 days. Find the one that has to, even if you cannot enter the water, just sit down, put your leg. Don't cook. Somebody should bring the food. Relax. If you need massage, they should massage your leg, massage your back. I am telling you. What funny, what comedy, something that will make you laugh. Not every time you are reading Bible 247, you want revelation. There's time for that. But you do something that is not in your routine, your regular routine. Break the routine. Write in the comment section, break the routine. You need to break the routine so I can be fine. Break the routine. Break the routine. Very important. And the last thing I'm going to say again is that when we're renewed, our best manifests. Sometimes people think that renewal is an expense. No, it's an investment. You know how you invest money into something and it has yields? Because listen, when I was feeling that fatigue that I shared about, one of the things that the Spirit of God began to tell me is that, you see, you that is feeling like this, if anything happens to you, the world will continue. And another thing that I got was that the you like this that needs this break and this pampering and this thing, if you do it, you will be a better you. And everybody around you will enjoy your sweetness. That you can even achieve more. But sometimes we think, oh, am I going to sacrifice this? So you're working. Was it 2 weeks ago? I just told my husband, I'm not coming for evening service. I said, no, I'm not coming for it. Now, this is not what I do every day. I love church. If you're around me, you know that I have energy, I love church. What was my husband? I said, it's fine. I said, it's okay. Rest. People of God, I slept. In fact, I did not go to office that day. That's how I started. For morning, I didn't go to the office. I just told him, I said, this is my body. I don't want to go to the office. I just want to lay down in the bed. Thank God we had some food in the fridge. I said, I'll just microwave food. I'm not cooking anything. There's food, microwave food. And then when he now called me to say, oh, should they come and pick you for service? I said, sir, I'm not coming for service. I just said, okay, there's no. I slept. That day that I didn't go to church did not close. Yes, did not close. Am I the mover of the power of God? I'm not the mover of the power of God. Now, like I said, because I was discussing here. My mind, I don't want to be, because when you do not get into a place of renewal, you'll be cranky. You become carnal. You'll be signed. You will not be strong. Then you can abandon some things. And then even when you don't abandon some things, you will not give it your best. It will be anywhere below face. You do it anyhow. Let me do it. I don't do now. So let's just be pushing. But you not be innovative. Is anybody catching what I'm saying? All I'm saying tonight, in conclusion, I'm ending. This is 9:55. All I'm saying tonight, I have taken time. If you missed this, you need to watch the replay. I'm talking about how you can overcome distraction and destiny fatigue. And we looked at two major enemies of finishing strong, which is weights and weakness. Weights or weakness. Weights actually represent distraction, while weakness is fatigue. And we took that thing from Hebrews chapter 12 from verse 1. Now, you can apply this in your business. So if you do not have like a sisterhood or maybe women who you can connect with, who you can take this sort of break with, find people who you have same values, who both of you can connect at that level of intellectual, this thing, and both of you can gist. You can also take time, pray, worship. You need to start building it. You need to have it. You need to have it. How many of you have it? And how many of you have done it before? If you have it and you've done it before, let me see. Taking a break, gotten into, go somewhere, sleep over. Because sometimes we think that once we marry, going out like that is abomination. Can you leave your married woman and go another place? That's some of the things our mothers did, our mothers suffered. This is the end of my conversation. I don't know if anything I said tonight makes sense. Tonight is not for shouting, preaching. You see how I was just saying it gently? Because I know that a lot of people's energy has slowed down. I know that so many things have happened this year. That's even 2026, that's how it's going to be. You understand? Like I said, 12 months is a long time. So if you don't have renewal treats, you're going to feel weak. If you don't have renewal treats, you're going to feel like giving up. If you don't have renewal treats, you're going to feel like, okay, you have. Fantastic. You understand? So any questions? Please, if you have any questions on fatigue or on distractions or anything you want to add, thank you. Yes, she has. Anything you want to add, please add. I said something. I said distraction used to come. Sometimes it doesn't come from enemy. It comes from friends. Somebody will come and give you another vision. Or the devil will give you another vision. Do you understand? At the end of the day, former vision you did not achieve, current vision you did not achieve, and you now be beating yourself up. What did I even really do this year? But I know that I don't think there's anybody in the inner circle who did not achieve something this year. So I don't know what I should say. And I think I'm going to say it now and then also encourage us. I want us to, I know some of you have been doing it, but intentionally, there are 4 areas. Onye, please write it down. That's Onye, marriage in bliss with Onye. There are 4 areas. 4 areas. I just hope everybody will do this assignment. There are 4 areas I want us to journal our gratitude. Number 1, the gift of men. The gift of men. You're writing it down. Number 1, the gift of men. What we're going to do in journaling this is to remember, listen, this is not just, Father, thank you for men. No, you're going to write down names of people in this 2025 who contributed. You're going to mention as many names as you remember. And as you're doing it, you're going to be thanking God for them. Do you think it's a fantastic idea? Listen to me. 1 week may not be enough to do this. I've mentioned number 1 is the gift of men. So you're going to be measuring as much as you can remember. And you're going to write down the names of the men and the women, mentioning them. Listen to me. If you think well, you'll be able to thank God well. Number 1 is the gift of men. Number 2 is actually the actualization of the things that you are able to execute this year. Now, listen to me. When I say execute, I did not mean that you build skyscraper. Because sometimes we belittle our achievements looking into something that we think is more grand that somebody else has done. Everything that you executed, you organized a program, you did this, every project, everything that you did, you started a business. How did you sell it? What have you achieved? Everything, gratitude. Number 1, I say the gift of men. Number 2, execution of projects. Execution of projects. Is it okay? Number 3, please when you write it. See, we're journaling. This thing I'm saying is very serious. Number 3. Are we taking it down? It's a gift of men. Good. 4 years to journal our gratitude. Gift of men, 2 is the actualization of the things you are able to do. Everyone, so you're going to think, I want to go down memory lane. Series 2026, you're going to write each of them. You canceled this person, you executed this, you did this, you do this, you did this. We're going to do it. Number 3, you're going to thank God for every challenge that you overcame. Mention it one by one, mentally, physically, spiritually. You're going to mention all the challenges. All the challenges. It's number 3. Now listen, I know somebody will be like, what of the one that I did not overcome? Write it down, thank God for it. In fact, you're going to journal your Thanksgiving and every challenge that came your way, both the one that you overcame and the one you didn't overcome. Because listen to me, even the one that you didn't overcome, when you include both every challenge you overcame and the one you did not overcome this year, let me tell you something. You see, every challenge that you did not overcome, you are alive to be saying you did not overcome. It means the challenge did not kill you. So it still means you're still bigger than the challenge because you're alive. The challenge has not swallowed you. It's 0-0. Nobody in our 0-1. That's it. Because if you're no longer alive, we say the challenge finally kills the person. Do you get what I'm saying? You're going to thank God for every challenge you overcame and the one you are yet to overcome. The one you are yet to overcome. Yet to overcome. When you change it to yet to overcome, one, every challenge you overcame and the one you are yet to overcome, because I believe you're going to overcome it. That's 3. Number 4, you're going to thank God for your family. I don't know whatever it is God did in your family. Whatever it is, for those of us that have kids, whatever it is that happened in the life of any of your children, whatever it is, your children went to school, went to secondary school, went to this, went to finish class, whatever it is. So yeah, take note of these 4 major areas as I mentioned. Number 1 is a gift of man. 2 is the actualization of things that you executed this year. 3 is actually thank God for the challenges you overcame and the ones you are yet. So meaning we're writing all of this one by one, like the gift of man, you're going to write down the name. So that means you are going to sit down and think, this is work. And I think this thing I'm giving us up until probably, I think let's leave it to like the 20th of December. I'm giving us time from now to the 20th of December to be able to do it. From now to the 20th of December. From now to the 20th of December. Thank God for your family, your children, and yourself. Yes, because we have singles in our midst. I want to say thank you, all of you. I don't know whether this has been helpful. If it has been helpful, let me know in the comment section. If it has been helpful. If it has been helpful, let me know. Has it been helpful? Please, renewal, Kai. Renewal. I don't know how to say it. Sometimes you just look at yourself, I'm tired. What you just need is renewal. You just need to be renewed. Do you understand? Thank you so much. I want to say thank you all of you who are here, and if you're watching this on the replay, fine. So yeah, put this assignment that I've given, capture it very well, post it in the group, ask people to go and watch this replay. I believe this replay will help someone. This replay is not just for towards the end of the year, it's an all-time session that you can use at any time, knowing that fatigue does not just mean you're weak, it means you need renewal. That's where I'm going to end it. Do you understand? So please put this assignment, encourage people need to do it. It's for our mental health, it's for our, if you sit there, you find out that you start crying to see what God has really, really done. And God will help all of us. Thank you, all of you, and have a fantastic week ahead. If you're watching this on replay, too, God bless you. I'm not sure anyone has any questions, so if you don't have questions, when you remember the last one is thank God for you, your family, and your children, for those that have kids, because we have single people in our midst. Good night, everyone, and God bless you. Good night.